Hello Ellen, I'm Nelson Kai, Juan Kai's brother, and I'm here to introduce to you your G43 in Freeborn red. And it's absolutely spectacular, and I'll try to walk you through the car before you receive it. Congratulations in advance. So first of all, let me walk you through the car. Of course, it's Freeborn red, and the roof is also in the same color as the body, which came out spectacular. And we have the matte accents, which contrast beautifully with the red of the car. Beautiful, beautiful car. I love the G43 emblem in black as well. It's very subtle, very cool. And amazing combination of the LP6s, which are absolutely powerful. I think you're gonna use them a lot over there. The custom front bumper is also amazing, and the Toyota winch is beautiful and massive. I love it. And now I'd like to walk you through the engine compartment. And of course you have to release the latches on the side panels of the front of the car. There's two of them. And very important, there's a security release latch that is in front of the grille, behind the grille, I'm sorry, in the upper right corner of the grille, right over the Toyota right hand side of the Toyota emblem, sorry. So you pull that with your hand, and that releases this lock, this security lock. So even if you release these two latches, the hood will not open. You do have to release the security latch in order to let it open. And this is of course your engine. Cody Warner, our service technician, will definitely guide you through service recommendations, fluid recommendations as far as oils, liquids, etc. But in general, we have the windshield washer, we have the coolant, we have the clutch fluid, brake fluid, and we have the power steering fluid. Very simple. This is a 1GR brand new Toyota V6 4.0 engine, so very sturdy. You're gonna love the engine. So if you want to close the hood, you just pull it from above and bring it down. Please make sure to secure the latches again, and secure both of them. And now I'll work you into the interior of the car. Now we're gonna try and go through most of the basic operations of the doors, the locks, the controls, lights, knobs. So let me get inside the car and show you, beginning with how to open the door. The keychain has 3 keys. The metal Toyota key that has no plastic covers is for the driver's side door, passenger side door, and ignition. The big Toyota key with a plastic cap on the top is for the gas cap, and the tiny also Toyota key is for the rear door lock, rear ambulance door locks. So we're gonna start by opening the driver's door, and I'm sure it doesn't have a lock, but I'm gonna leave it as if it was locked. So By the way, locking is counterclockwise, unlocking is clockwise. So right now this is locked, doesn't open. This is unlocked. There's no power locks or power windows, of course. These are very simple operations and we like to keep them that way. These are the locks from the inside. This will open the door. If it's locked, it won't open the door. And if you want to lock the door when exiting the car, you're going to have to press the lock, and when you're closing the door, you have to lift and keep the handle lifted and close the door, and that'll lock the car. So again, if we want to unlock, we rotate it clockwise and we are inside the car. Before that, sorry, windows, super simple. Let's hop in. And you have all the classic shape of the FJ40 series, but you have, of course, the brand new Toyota electronics in the cluster that have a retro face made by us. So you'll find our logo there, and you'll find the typeface is very different from a modern typeface and much more like the old typeface. You also have basically a different set of controls. You have the controls on the upper surface of the center console. So you have your diff locks, which I'll go into detail later. You have your electronic 8 disablers, and you have AC in these 3 knobs. Also, a little bit harder to reach, but effective anyway, in the front section of that center console, we're going to find UBS ports and some other controls that I'll mention later. So, of course, big thing with Toyota is the lock on the key. Once you take the metal key, again, which is the ignition key and the door keys, passenger and driver, to start the car will start even if it's in gear. So definitely a must. You have to press the clutch. I like to press the brake for security. Make sure you're in neutral and start the car, and then you'll feel immediately you're in a modern Toyota. Everything is very smooth, very Japanese, very easy to use. Again, if we want to take the key out, we will turn it counterclockwise, but the key won't come out yet. We have to press this button and rotate one more click counterclockwise, and that'll release the key. Let's go back up. Again, clutch, brake, neutral, start, and we're gonna go through the lights. Headlights on your left hand side of the cluster. Pull it and you see your lights on, and then with this handle, if you push forward, you have high beams. You push backward, you have low beams. High beams, low beams. And of course, if you towards yourself, pull backwards, you have high beams as well. To the right, that's your turn signal to the right. Of course, pull down, turn signal to the left. Not much to that. You have 3 horn buttons. I forgot to mention, you did order the Nardi wheel. The Nardi wheel adapter is included with the car. It is in the car. The Nardi wheel is in back order, unfortunately. Because of COVID, they are way back behind in production. Once we get that wheel, we'll send it to you. It'll be an easy swap, and you just send us back the original Toyota wheel, steering wheel. Another set of controls are windshield wiper. Then if you want a windshield washer, you have to rotate it clockwise. I don't want to do that right now because I'll get the car dirty and my colleagues won't like that. Then as far as your amazing fog lights, I love them. I wish I had them. These are very effective, and I don't think you're gonna have a problem over there, even with fog and haze. Then the next knob is for the hazard lights, very important. Next one is rear fog light, also super effective. There you go. And last knob to the right is the map reading light, very useful. Of course, your stereo is inside your glove box. You can hook up with your Bluetooth. Just go to your iPhone and find the Pioneer. And if you for some reason need any help with this, please don't hesitate to email us, me, Juan, or myself. We could definitely help you with that. That's not a big deal. As far as the AC, I think you'll be using the heater much more, obviously. So temperature control is the right button. We are in cold, clockwise, and counterclockwise you'll have the heater. As far as the direction of the air is in the center, so you can choose from face to the defogger. So face, when you're in face, you will get the AC coming out of these custom made vents. These are made by us. These were by no means original, much better than what used to be original. And the defogger, if we go back to defogger in the center knob, the air comes through here and here. And the left knob is the speed in the AC. When it's really hot or cold, you have to start it at max speed, but you'll see that after some minutes the car will cool down pretty quickly, and then you can turn it down a bit. Also, as I mentioned, you have your diff locks, so definitely for rough terrain you're going to want to lock the rear differential. That's the first click clockwise. That'll be good for most obstacles, and if you have extremely hard obstacles, you're going to want to go to the second click, which is the rear and the front differentials locked. Again, that's for extremely rough terrain. And of course, if you are on that situation, you would have already wanted to go from high 2 to probably high 4, or if you want to go to low range 4, you just have to lift, as in most Toyotas, lift and pull down, lift and pull down. Hopefully you're in neutral while you're doing that. It's easier having the car in neutral. When you're on the road, on the paved road, please keep it in high 2. Gravel, mid-speed gravel and snow, high 4. And again, for very, very rough terrain, for trails, rocky terrain, definitely use the low gear, and it'll like being in low gear and a high gear, so low range and a high gear like third, fourth. That'll give you a lot of flexibility if you're driving in trails, rocky terrain, and all that sort of thing. Now I'm gonna change directions and we will show you the power supply and voltage meter on the center console. Again, the features that are in the frontal section of the center console are from left to right. We have a twin USB port with a voltage meter. So that little meter there will show us the voltage in the battery right now. It's kind of handy if you left the car standing for a while and you want to make sure that there is a problem with the battery. That helps. We have the passenger side bucket seat heater button, and we have the air compressor, Toyota air compressor, on and off, and we have the driver's side heater button, and we also have a 12 volt DC power supply, so very handy for accessories, very handy for chargers, etc. So all these are power ports, and compressor and temperature for the seats. Also, here's your FJ company pouch. There's all sorts of things, such as a second key. There's the winch accessories that come with it. All your manuals for the accessories in the car, from the fog lights to the stereo, to the winch, etc. Everything is in there. Also in the center console we have touch-up paint in case you need that. That's Freeborn red. Have in mind that the Recaro seats do have this button if you need to recline it to gain access, or to grab something from the back. Also, if you had to, you can pull the seat forward, recline it to the front, and you'll be able to have, not the best, but you do have access to the back, and it works. Of course, here we have one of the side benches lowered for seating people, and we have the other one on the upper position and latched to that latch to secure it and to have storage space. And for demonstration purposes, obviously that tells you what you can do in the back. So let me show you the rear view camera, just so you know. It's placed right here over the license plate. Of course, this license plate will come off. So it's under your awesome, again, I love these fog lights, your awesome fog light, and the between and above the license plate. And to see it in action, you basically, once you engage reverse, the image comes on. So this is neutral, this is reverse, and it really comes handy whenever there's a parking situation. The car is quite large, and it's tall, so this definitely helps. Also, you have the outside temperature and you have the compass, so it is very useful. And now I'll guide you through the ambulance doors, the operation of the ambulance doors. To gain access, you're gonna have to open both of them for a person, or if you just need to put in a box or a package, you can open the right hand side. Again, the key to lock the ambulance door is a small Toyota key. This has a little cap here that you have to put aside or close if you're going to be driving. And you put it aside, and let's insert the key. Okay, and open clockwise. Just pull the handle, and this is again limited access, but it lets you pick something out from the car, put something in the car. But if it's a bigger access that you need, or a personal access that you need, then we're gonna have to pull the spare tire carrier. So there's this handle here that we pull. There's this lock or security lock that we have to put aside, and then we pull backwards. And then we have to open the left door, which has an interior handle. So it'll be easy to locate it where the striker is. You just reach your hand and you'll find it there, pull it up, and it's very easy. So it's like that. Super simple. And then you have total access to the car. Again, your Nardi adapter for the steering wheel is there with the car. Your tool bag is there with the car. That includes the hardware that you need for the air compressor. And let's not forget, also in the center console, you'll find a 12-volt AC power supply, and again, a twin USB port. And right under that center console is the enclosure for the battery if you ever need it to change the battery. Please have in mind there are charging ports in the front of the engine bay, so you don't have to touch the the battery enclosure any time, unless you have to change the battery, but we can talk about that later in the future. Again, you can charge and you can trickle charge the battery from the ports that are in the engine bay. So if you want to close the ambulance doors, we have to close the left side first, because the right hand side folds and closes on top of the left hand side. So we close that first. We close the right hand side first. We can lock it counterclockwise if you want. We can unlock it clockwise if you want. And make sure you close that little lid. It just keeps dirt and moisture out of there. That's what it's made for. And we just push the spare tire carrier. And we have to move the security lock inside and lift the handle and close it. Make sure it stops here in that rubber stop. That means that it's secure. And that is the operation of the ambulance doors. One cool feature are our own design, the FJ company Braid wheels. So Braid is one of the best rally and off-road wheel manufacturer in the world, and we've designed this retro looking, lighter, stronger, and really cool wheels. These go really well with your car. As far as the gas cap, again, the gas cap is open with the large Toyota key with the plastic tip. And we open by rotating the key counterclockwise and rotating the cap itself counterclockwise. That'll release the cap, and please make sure you put it somewhere safe. I like to leave it there, for example, but that's something that you have to decide. Just make sure you don't lose it, because you'll be losing the keys and the cap, so not good. Then to insert it back, please make sure you insert these two taps into those two holes. Rotate first the cap until it stops clockwise and rotate the key clockwise, and that is locked. That can't come out of there like that. Finally, again, the same metal key for the ignition and for the driver's side door is used for the locking of the passenger door or unlocking of the passenger door. So clockwise is locked, counterclockwise is unlocked, and that's about it. Not really. Sorry, your passenger sliding windows. Super old school, easy to use. You just push this button and to open and slide to close until it latches. That can be done from the front. That can be done from the rear portion. And that can be done also on the driver's side, of course, here and here. I believe that's all I can think of in the meantime. Of course, if you do have any questions, please don't hesitate to email us, contact us. We are available to help you get used to every detail of the car. And we're very excited that you'll be enjoying this car in Aspen. Thank you.